thank you for your time. Like since we've been here for like an hour and a half maybe already. You've done a bazillion phone calls. You're moving cars left, right, and center. And you know when people say like they want to see a video of the life of what your day is, like
a day in life.
An hour, I've seen everything. It's like it's happening.
It's non-stop. It's not a business. It's a life. That you've hit the nail on the head. That's
and
exactly
a love.
what it is. Yeah, and a love, of course. You know, you got to love your life.
Yeah. Oh, you got a new car coming in here.
Yeah, that's one we bought earlier.
Yeah, just to let you know, it's the bin lorries coming in right now. That's what it is.
The bins, yeah.
Okay, I want to, before we get into kind of like how you became yourself and your family and being here on the Hartley estate itself, what sort of volume do you move each year in cars, quantity and the price value of it?
Diving straight in,
because
AJ.
I think people need to understand like the sheer size and volume of your business. Even sat in this room right now, it's kind of like this is a pretty penny, to put it mildly.
The prestigiousness of where we are. Yeah,
3 floors here.
Yeah. So last year we sold over 400 cars, with the average price being 350,000 per unit. So obviously some cars go over 2 or 3 million, some cars are 150,000, and by the end of the year you average it out. Turnover was 75 million. We move a lot of. When people say you move a lot of metal, I move a lot of carbon.
Yeah. Now that is the best description I've ever heard everywhere.
You should have that above your office.
Everything you can see in this video right now behind us is pretty much carbon, and that's what he means. These cars are not just a low end of things; they're the top of the top spec cars. We really are in such a prestigious place.
I'm actually impressed. Both of your knowledge
on the cars. But I'm a car fanatic. Genuinely, when I just said this is like my playground, my heaven, I walked in here and my jaw hit the floor. Like just seeing the Ford GT behind me. You've got the Lamborghini right there. You've got the blimmin' 488 Pista over there. You've got another one over there, GT2 RS right over there. It's incredible. Genuinely, but the money in here is just.
But it's obviously there's knowing models.
Yeah.
And there's knowing brands.
Yeah.
But then you're firing out Newton meters of torque and brake horsepower, and I'm like, oh, God, I didn't realize your knowledge was so vast. You know, you've both got
driving them as well,
knowledge.
like driving on track in reality and building up a brand. Like we're 28 and 29, so only in the past couple of years we've been able to like do things like Ferraris. Like, so here's the new 296 GTB. Do you want to drive it to Spa? Maybe drive around the course and come back. I was like. Yep, I would love to do that. I'm not going to say no. But it's building up that respect because, as you know, with certain brands, like speaking about, Ferrari straight away, like you become part of the family. Like they don't just give a car to anybody. You have to earn that respect and that kind of confidence to be actually given a car that's like expensive.
They wouldn't give me a cold.
Exactly. and to be point, like, don't curb an alloy. Because even talking about alloy prices, when I was taking the Euro tunnel, and it was like, make sure you go as a HGV because don't even try and go down like a normal car route. Because I read my piece of paper was like, so if you curb the alloys, it's like 10 grand. And he was like, no, that's the standard part. But these have been stripped back, repainted, double coated, and then laser cut afterwards. He was like, that's probably the price per one. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm careful with this car now.
So now we've only just started driving these things, but you've been around it all your life. When did this start for you? How did you get into driving these?
It didn't start.
It was.
It just.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking earlier about my son.
Yeah.
And he's 5, and he, without me like drumming it into his brain and teaching him about cars. He's took the same route as what I did, where he's a kid. He loves computer games. He loves cars. He's in a bit of a different situation than a lot of kids because the cars that are on the computer games are in my drive.
Yes.
So, and I take him out in the cars, and he knows. Only last night I was going through Instagram, and I was just saying, do you know what kind of car that is, Christian? And he was like, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Mercedes.
Is he learning the prices of everything as well?
Give him another 12 months or so, and he'll
You'll have him on the phone in here, will you?
Exactly, yeah. So it's like I say, it just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. I was the same as him. I was born into being around such beautiful cars.
You're never pressured to go into it then?
No, not at all.
That's one question that I can. I've always we've done a lot of research, obviously, on you, and kind of hearing your stories about how you got into it, which we'll let you explain in a second. But the one question I've never heard is our dad's a dancer. We were always around dancing, but we were actually given the opportunity to do everything but dancing. Here's a quad bike, here's a snowboard, here's extreme sports. Do not dance. Like, it's the worst career ever. It's like not guaranteed. Like, on one side in our scenario, it's like, if you're not the best in the world, you're not going to make money. It's one side. But it was always like staying away from that. But in your instance, was that ever the case with your father?
No, I think my dad wanted. I use the term us.
Yep.
I have a brother as well, and we were very close growing up, and we're obviously both in the car business. And I think he would have pushed us to be in business.
Yep.
What business that would be?
What form that takes? Yeah.
Yeah, just what, a money making business. For instance, my dad don't even really like cars.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
That's
he
hard.
doesn't- he doesn't- he
That's
doesn't
actually hard to believe seeing around it. But,
you do. This year is our 50th year in the car business.
Congratulations.
So for
That
every
says a lot about yourself as people, along as business people itself.
Well, 10 years in the car business is a long time.
Yeah.
We see so many people come and go because there's so many opportunities to do something wrong, and lose a reputation for a quick buck, And we've been very disciplined enough to, value a reputation more than a little bit more money here or a little bit more money there and doing things wrong and have to break the company down and set up another one, which, there's so many car dealers out there that, I used to trade as XYZ before I had to declare myself bankrupt and then go somewhere else because I didn't want to pay a tax bill or, it's the same in any business.
It's very important for us if we're getting into business with multiple people. It's a reputation on one side, but also just go on a quick company's house search, find out what the company is, and do the numbers add up to what's being spoken about quite a lot of the time, because it's not usually the case.
Have you actually had to, because you've been in 50 years doing this, the whole area here. Now, there has to have been some deals which haven't quite gone to plan for you. Let's say you've bought a car and then maybe you've done all your research and everything, but you just missed one little thing and someone could have over-revved it, for example, a Porsche. Someone could have done something wrong like this, and then you've had to sell it for less than you bought it. What's one of the worst instances?
I mean, that happens.
I've got to know.
That the amount of cars that we sell, you can imagine that happens.
Because that's what makes people go bust sometimes, if you're not careful in the long run.
Look,
A string of them.
Yeah.
Scared money doesn't make money.
Yeah.
So business is a gamble. Anybody that's in business that says, "Oh, I don't gamble." Of course you do. You gamble every single day. You try your hardest to take all the precautions you can when you're buying and selling something to make sure that it is exactly what it is. But you get, we sold 400 cars last year. So if the odds were 400 to 1, that means there was one instant where something wasn't as it was. And you have to take your medicine, you take your pill and you move on. It just happens.
I was going to say, is it just literally, all right, mistakes have been made, it is what it is, move straight on, forget about it. Well, not forget about it, learn from it, but try not to.
Your mentality is it's a learning curve, everything.
Damage limitation, of course.
Yeah.
For instance, cars in COVID were making obscene money. The market was so high.
People got very bored with a lot of money.
Yeah. And a lot of the money were free. Yeah. So there's your deposit for your new car. Yeah.
Even you here with the space, like it went off square footage.
It's so funny. Every time someone would call up on a car, they would want a finance quote with a 50,000 deposit in. Yeah. Obviously that was their bounce back thing. So you thought, 50,000 in. Okay, I'll sort your quote out. But the gamble was we were just buying so many cars and selling so many cars and earning loads of money.
Yep.
But then the market drops and you can get left holding the baby with some cars that you've had for a little bit too long. But that's life.
Yeah.
You can't win every single time.
So did you actually try and plan that out in a way, thinking business-minded? Like the car market's going up in price, everything's going up in price, there's going to be a drop, but there has to be a drop if something's hitting. Did you then try and actually get rid of as much stock as you possibly could before buying
it? It goes back to what I've just said, scared money doesn't make money.
Yeah.
I know everyone knew that the sort of the drop was coming. Everyone knew. I knew. I thought it was going to happen 6 months before it did happen.
Yeah, everything's actually delayed much further, even with interest rates and things like that. Like it's taken a lot more time than I think people realize to get to that point. Even this year, like 5 million people having to remortgage their houses. It's going to hit people like the next couple of years before they even realize what's actually happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you get to the point where you
I'm
think...
remortgaging now, I feel it.
Me and my dad would have a conversation, and obviously he's seen no end of recessions, 3 or 4 major recessions in his life in business. And he'd say, I've got a bad feeling about what's coming. And I'm like, I know it's coming, but we're selling 2 cars a day.
Yep.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And when it comes.
It comes. It is what it is. We continue, we push through it, and you just keep going.
But do you think, like, for you, when you're purchasing an asset, a car itself, are you thinking on a much bigger scale? Do you think 5-10 year time scale regarding, let's say, take something that we spoke about it earlier, electrification? Like, people have got big electric cars. Most of them that you ask have got a big electric car are doing it tax write-off, and then people before that have probably got a big V8, V12, whatever the hell they drive around, Bentley or Rolls Royce or something, but they've got an electric car because the benefits make sense. So if you're thinking on a 5-10 year time scale, you've got an asset right now that you bought. Even if you don't sell it for a handful of years, you know it's going to go up because that natural turnover of the younger generation, our generation, are actually scared that be like, okay, I'm never going to be able to buy a petrol car because it's going to become a piece of art. It's not going to be classed as a car anymore. It's literally like, it's an artwork. We take it to a track, or you have to like insure it as a different value.
One thing I've realized in business is not just cars, anything. Human nature is people want things they can't have anymore.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Scarcity of life.
When someone says, right, that's done, we're never making another one of those again. You had plenty of opportunity to buy them when they were making them. You didn't want them. But now they don't make them anymore. Guess what you want?
That bragging
It's
rights.
just human nature.
Okay, seeing the smile on your face there, that's the first time I like listened to you talk about business. Do you have, maybe you do, maybe you don't, a list of being like, okay, we know this make and model, they're going to stop making them this year, or we know this is going to be a limited number of cars that's going to come out maybe next year. Do you have that list of being like, okay, I want to get my hands on one of them? Obviously, it's a second-hand market here, but you still know people that are moving cars very quickly. Like, we know people that buy them, and then they've sold them, but they don't even hardly driven them.
Not even 1,000 miles.
Like, does that list in your head exist to be like, okay, I want that
Ford
one?
GT has done 29 miles.
Oh my God, and it's a beauty.
Wow.
So, like, it's a used car.
It is. It's not even driven in. You can't even rev that out to the top.
No, it's actually never been driven. The guy who we bought it from had never driven the car.
It's trailer driven. It's literally on and off a trailer.
So that's the 29 miles where the braking, the Ford testing to make sure the sat nav works. And the brakes work and whatever,
Yeah. Does that not break your heart in one way? Does that not sort of break
No,
your
he's
heart
thinking profit margin
know,
straight away.
actually, more.
Yeah. You truly are just a businessman at heart.
Yeah. So
I've got one more thing. Do you sell any electric cars?
yeah,
You do?
I do. I give the people what they want. Right. Unfortunately, at the minute, they don't really want electric cars. But if someone does want an electric car, then
You'll
I'll
find
sell
one.
it.
Yeah.
I've said this on many podcasts before, and I do believe it because I am a petrol head.
Yeah.
I am as well.
And I believe that if you are a car enthusiast and you like cars, then you don't like electric cars because it's not a car.
Yeah.
It's a tax write-off. So if you're in business and you like business and you'd prefer to give your certain amount of money to Porsche rather than give it to the tax man,
Yep.
I completely understand what you're going.
Yeah.
I understand what you're doing. But no one's ever like lusted over a Taycan.
No.
You know, like, oh, one day, can we
Rimac
buy a
Navara.
Taycan?
The Rimac Navara is the only electric car I would possibly say that is like, okay, you just got something to brag about.
Yeah, but why? Because of the performance.
Just the pure straight line speed of what it can do.
Yeah, but you know
And
what?
that is the one
You
thing.
hit that 5 times, I'm going to throw up anyway.
You get
By the
motion
way, I
sick.
find that in an electric
I
car.
can't deal with
I had a
electric
918
cars.
Spider, and we were on a road trip down these windy roads, and it was in electric mode. And I've made myself feel sick
Yeah.
for the like
Sheer
the G-force.
acceleration.
Yeah.
It's like your body can naturally, when the revs are going and the engine's going,
Yeah.
you can
Your
gear
brain
yourself
knows.
up
It knows.
to it's going to go really fast now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's really loud.
And there's a split second of that gear drop or that gear
Yeah.
change, which you're just aware, even though it's a split second, but your body's aware of it.
Yeah.
Where in electric, it's 10,000
You
times
just don't,
faster.
you don't know. It's just like someone's pulling and pushing.
Even with the Taycan, it was beginning of COVID, and I was like, okay, I was looking at options. I need to get a new car, whatever. Took the Taycan not the turbo, but the 4S out. 40 minutes of driving that around, I had to sit down afterwards and have it. I nearly threw up.
Yeah. So electric cars. Yes, we sell electric cars. We sell diesel cars. We sell petrol cars. We sell hybrids. But you'll never catch me owning an electric car personally. Mm-hmm. Because I like cars. Yeah. And I feel like how was one of my clients who look at me and trust my judgment on a car, how is he going to respect my judgment if I'm mooching around in an electric car?
Yeah.
So talk
He's
about
like, that's a supercar dealer. In an electric car.
Something's not adding up.
Yeah, exactly.
Synthetic fuels, though, do you think they'll be coming in? Like Porsche saying that they're going to be on sale by 2030. You know, we'll get the synthetic fuels. Because I personally think synthetic fuels will come in. And I believe electric's going to be a great thing for the next 20, 25 years, possibly. And then I think electric's going to fully die out. And it'll be back to engines with a new fuel.
I don't think that in our lifetime, we will be at the situation where you have to drive a new electric car. Like what I'm saying is,
it's impossible.
I know you can always
physically
drive
impossible,
whatever, but I think it will. 2030, every new car is going to be electric. 2030.
Well, they've already started moving that back.
No chance.
Yeah.
Have you been to Warwick services and seen the queue for the Tesla chargers?
That's every service.
Oxford services.
Absolutely no chance. No chance. I don't think we will see it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a few years ago that Porsche and Siemens were working for this synthetic fuel that's supposed to give off less emissions than electric in regards to mining the electric. Yeah. Mining the electric is worse for the environment.
Having a lithium battery, the outweigh for positive to negative is insane.
You can't put it anywhere, can you, after either?
What do you do? Stick it, fly it into space? Stick it in the ocean?
Yeah. What can you do?
What's great?
So, no, I don't think that'll be the case. And people have realised that now. And that's why electric cars have fell through the floor. There's not a car that's harder to sell than a Taycan.
Yeah.
So people bought onto the idea. Tesla jumped on the bandwagon first.
Well, Tesla, if we just go on pure business, as you'll appreciate, like Tesla made more money, not off selling cars. They sold green tokens. So throughout selling all of them cars, they get a certain amount of green tokens, and they sell the green tokens back to the oil companies, and that's where all their profit was, off selling green tokens that they made off the car. The car was just a facade, and in the back end, the making the hundreds of billions was all off green tokens being sold to oil companies. That's where they made all their money, not from the cars.
He should get some credit.
Yeah.
He's all right.
I mean,
no, I'm a fan of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Elon Musk because he comes across as he's arguably the most powerful man in the world. If he says I'm going to invest tomorrow in whatever, that stock goes through the roof. If he says I'm going to sell whatever, it goes through the floor. He's so influential in business, and he comes across as a real person who is not politically correct sometimes. He says what he thinks.
He does what he does.
Yeah.
The woke world
which I like
we live in is so... Sometimes we feel like in our position slightly... Which more so this year we've kind of relaxed a bit more, but we feel so censored in what our opinion can be sometimes.
That's why it's called the cancel culture.
And it's nice to be around business people because it's like, well, what works, what doesn't work, what's good for the business itself. And someone like Elon, it's kind of like, well, he does him.
But, he's in a different bracket.
Of course.
He can do him.
He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Who was going to cancel Elon Musk?
Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to happen.
He's got the money to not be cancelled.
But for other CEOs and chairman directors in business, you have to be very, very, very careful about if it's your true opinion or it's not your true opinion. Just keep your mouth shut.
So within your position, obviously, yourself, it's the family name, it's the family brand. Like, people are going to buy and sell cars. Like, they want to come in here, they'll say, okay, I know or don't know, I'm going to buy the car. But at the end of the day, surely for you, it's that personal touch, that repeat clientele, that knowing that you can be accessible, well, by sounds of it, 24/7, the way that you've set your business up, like being here. Is that what you value yourself on? Like that kind of, you come here, you want to come here to see the cars, but also get that, okay, I've bought one, I know who I'm going to go back to when I need to buy number 2, 3, and 4 onwards.
Well, the difference with us and I would say 99.9% of other dealers out there, whether they're independently owned or backed by a main dealership.
Yes, yeah.
Is if you've got a Ferrari Pista Spider, and you think, you know what, I want to sell that car. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot call anybody
I don't know who's going to
and
buy
get
it.
somebody to buy it from you.
Yeah.
Because no one's got any balls in the car business, and no one's got any money, and that's not a good concoction. But you come to us, and we will give you an offer instantly and pay you instantly and collect it instantly, there and then. And people know, I want to deal with them people. How many times, if you went to a dealership and they were happy when you kept buying cars from them, and then you're like, right, your turn now.
Yeah.
You got to buy a car from me. I'm happy to take a loss, but I've got 3 cars I bought from you now. I want to sell one of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well drop it off and we'll sell it for you. It might take 3 months. Well, no, I can do with the money today because I want to do something else with the money.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sorry, we don't buy cars. Well, you're not a dealer if you don't buy cars.
Mm. And you had the clientele to be able to shift things on.
We're so diverse.
Your phone book must be a very expensive phone book. Let's say
Yeah.
that. Yeah. AJ, I think we should take a moment to thank our sponsors, FINT.
Yes, the financial investment app that makes investing easy, Curtis. Anybody can do it.
We're very diverse. Recently, I sold a Bugatti Veyron to a customer and a good friend of mine.
Was that your Bugatti?
No,
because you did.
Yeah,
have one,
I did have one.
Yeah,
This was another one recently, and he swapped in 2 or 3 other cars. It was a car, the Bugatti, we owned it, obviously.
Yeah.
So he swapped in 2 or 3 other cars. He swapped in a new Porsche electric bike that Porsche made him buy because he had a new car coming. They said, you can't have your car unless you buy the watch and the bike.
So, I love that about companies sometimes.
When a company does that, I just,
I took and swapped the bike. I took 2 Patek Philippe's and a Richard Mille. Where else in the world can someone go?
Yeah.
And by the way, the deal was done within an hour and a half.
yeah. But
He come down, brought his bike and his watches, and
showed you the goods.
I sent my transporter to go and pick up his other cars. He drove away in the Bugatti. Job done.
Did you take a Bitcoin
Yeah.
for selling cars and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Is that something new or something you've?
We set it up a couple of years ago. To be honest with you, we haven't done much of it.
No, just not the clientele or just.
It's. I find at the minute with Bitcoin, not that I'm a follower of it. I don't have any.
Doing
Bitcoin.
well at the minute, I will say.
Yeah, it's doing well. So nobody wants to buy something with their Bitcoin. They want to hold their Bitcoin.
yeah.
Which suits me better because it's more stress. They have to sell it to me, and I've got to take the responsibility of it. And
then-
obviously, I'm not keeping it. I'm selling it
Yeah.
as soon as we get it.
You're
So-
moving it on.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was the thought process of actually deciding to say, right, we are going to take Bitcoin? What was the
Taking
thought
people's
process?
money.
Literally,
Well,
was
look,
it just
you've
that?
You've got to move with the times. We've this business has been going for 50 years. It hasn't been run the same way for 50 years. You have to move with the times, and this is a thing that's going to happen soon, and it's happening now. And you're limiting your market because the buyers have changed now. The
Yeah.
buyers, a lot of these buyers are 19, 20-year-old kids who put $5,000 into Bitcoin 7 years ago and now worth 12 million.
Well, where is your clientele? Like we talk about it, and we were having a little laugh in the car. Me and Curtis were driving up here. We were like, okay, so you must have like a Rolls Royce buyer, maybe more older, more debonair, or a Ferrari driver or a Lamborghini driver is a bit flashy. Their shoes are a bit more loud, and their watches maybe a bit more.
Nah,
I think that's more a Lamborghini.
Has that
driver,
gone now?
but-
Is that
because-
stereotypes
because
out?
as we have changed with the times, so have these manufacturers. I would say the average age of a Rolls Royce driver would be 35.
Yeah, and that's
If I
why the
could buy a
Cullinan,
car
well,
now,
that's what
yeah.
the Cullinan was made for, bringing that younger
a
generation.
Rolls Royce 10 years ago, like, what are you doing in your granddad's car?
You've got a drop head downstairs,
Yeah.
and as much as it would be the
You
stupidest
love it.
purchase in my head, I'd be like, "That's the coolest car ever.
I
would love it."
I personally had a drop head.
Can you sell AJ this car? How would you sell it
in
him?
2007?
I've got no money.
Right? I was 19. All my friends had like nice cars,
Yeah.
like sports cars,
Yeah.
because we're kids, we're 18, 19, 20, and they've all done well. And one had a Porsche, one had a Ferrari, one
Yeah.
had and I rocked up at this drop head, the first one out of Jack Barkley, bright blue with an aluminium bonnet.
With the aluminium bonnet?
I'm 5'6", so about 9.5 stone. I'm sort of like just
Boating around Mayfair.
Anyone that
Did
doesn't
like
know,
that.
this car is a big car.
It's a
for
yacht.
us. It's
You're a yacht on
as a
wheels.
car.
You're floating
That's
around.
why I bought it.
Yeah.
And it's
Bragging
ridiculous.
rights.
Yeah, I was like,
But
oh, that's
brilliant.
a nice little Ferrari you've got there.
Cigar in the mouth and a big hat on, I feel like.
Exactly.
Just before we go anywhere, thank you very much for listening to Freedom Impact Trust. We love your feedback, so please do leave a review because it helps others find us, doesn't it, Curtis?
Yes, it does. Comment, subscribe, like, share it to a friend. Let everybody in the world know that this is the podcast that you're enjoying, and let us know what you loved about it. We enjoy talking to you guys. We enjoy having fun, and we can't wait to see you and hear you on the next episode.
Plus, we want to thank our sponsor, FINT, the financial investment app, making investing easy from as little as £50 a month. You guys are awesome. We love you. We're part of you.
Don't forget, it's all through 3 portfolios, AJ. Nice and simple.
I know. Have a great day.
See you later, guys.